Now at 5, you might pay more for some credit card purchases in Kansas. Plus, help for managing winter heating bills and
a striking increase in women being diagnosed with cancer. I'm Michael George with the latest findings from the American Cancer Society.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
If you pay with plastic in Kansas, you might have to pay more. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. Some Kansas shoppers could see an increase on their bill for credit card purchases. That's because of a new law this month allowing Kansas merchants, including retail stores, restaurants, and more, to add a surcharge for credit card transactions. The owner of Red's House BBQ in Columbus says he doesn't have any plans to implement the surcharge at his business, but businesses that do have to provide clear notice of this before the sale is made. 4% is the maximum surcharge fee allowed.
I think when people work hard for something, they want to come out and to indulge. I don't think they're already going to pay a premium price, but I don't think you try to nickel and dime it per se.
Surcharges for debit cards are still illegal in Kansas and all 50 states. A Nevada, Missouri man is dead after a car crash last night. It happened on Interstate 49 south of Lamar. Investigators say the 52-year-old man was driving south when his car hit the rear of a van. He was pronounced dead at the hospital. The van driver, a California man, had only moderate injuries. A 3-vehicle crash near Carl Junction caused traffic delays. This was around 7:30 this morning south of Center Creek access on County Road 290. A car crossed the center line, hitting an oncoming pickup truck. The truck spun and hit an SUV. No one was seriously hurt. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy now for a first look at the weather.
Yeah, and it turned out to be a warmer one for us today. Most of us made it up into lower 50s for afternoon highs, which is pretty good. It's 48 in Lamar, it's 53 in Neosho, 46 in Bella Vista. We have 55 in Miami. Chanute is sitting at 53 degrees. And we're going to get even a little bit warmer as we go into your Friday. We're going to have clouds increasing through the day. It's also going to be very windy, but we should go into the mid-50s. Now, tomorrow evening, we get showers along and south of I-44 that push through, and then here comes an Arctic front. So we drop into the 20s by the time we get into Saturday morning. Plus the winds are going to be gusting 30 to 40 miles per hour through the daytime hours. Slow drop through the 40s tonight. We'll talk about the roller coaster ride and temperatures here in just a bit.
See you soon. As winter tips stick around, your utility bill could see a spike. According to the U.S. Energy Information Administration, natural gas usage is up compared to this time last year. Demand exceeds supply, putting some pressure on prices. Local utility provider Spire wants you to be aware of assistance programs available to people in Southwest Missouri.
They can take advantage of what they call ESIP. It's the Energy Crisis Intervention Program. And this helps the customer who have that unexpected or controllable loss of financial resources. And what happens in the winter months, which we're in now, from November to May, they can receive up to a maximum of $800.
People needing assistance can call 211 to find out what programs are available. Israeli media is reporting that the Gaza hostage ceasefire deal is set to go ahead and that a last-minute dispute with Hamas was resolved. The Israeli cabinet is expected to vote on the deal tomorrow, with the first of the hostages set to be released Sunday. Rami Inocencio has the latest from Tel Aviv.
In Khan Yunis, a displaced Gazan expressed joy that the war may soon be over.
Why I am so happy about the ceasefire? Because all of this are going to end.
And in Israel, feelings of anxiety and the hope that the fragile deal will hold and that the hostages will start to come back.
We are very hopeful, but we have this concern that something will go wrong along the way and not all hostages will be released.
Do you allow yourself to hope? No.
I wish I did, and I bless the times that I do, but I don't often enough because it's such a hard situation.
The last time Hamas freed hostages was more than a year ago in exchange for Palestinians in Israeli prisons. The logistics of this deal will be extremely complex. Even Hamas getting hostages safely to a handover point will present significant security challenges. U.S. officials are hopeful that any more setbacks will get resolved quickly.
I'm very confident that this is moving forward, and we'll see the start of implementation of the agreement on Sunday.
Israel's bombing of Gaza has not stopped, even as talks continue. Overnight, an IDF airstrike hit a house in Gaza City. Another hit a mosque, captured by our CBS News team in Gaza. Yet, at the same time, hope lies with humanitarian aid trucks on the move, on the Egyptian side of Gaza's border. Food, water, and medical supplies waiting to get in. But first, waiting for that deal to be signed. Ramy Inocencio, CBS News, Tel Aviv.
Israel's hardline national security minister said today he would resign if the Israeli cabinet approves the ceasefire deal, saying in a televised statement that releasing Palestinian prisoners and withdrawing from strategic areas in Gaza would, quote, erase the achievements of the war. Still ahead, why some people are forking over a lot of lettuce for a little fruit.
Would you pay $2 for a single strawberry? Or how about $400 for a pineapple? This isn't inflation. I'm Michael George, and I'll introduce you to the world of luxury fruit.
Plus, the research that has mice wearing virtual reality goggles. Those stories next in Health Watch. Topping today's Health Watch, a new report from the American Cancer Society shows while cancer deaths continue to drop, there are significant concerns for increasing cases of certain cancers, especially among women and younger adults. Michael George has more.
3 years ago, Tiffany White was diagnosed with endometrial cancer, a type of uterine cancer. She was 28 years old.
For years, I was actually misdiagnosed. So I would go to the doctor often and have these really chronic menstrual cycles. And no one could figure out what was wrong.
She had 6 surgeries, radiation, and then suffered a stroke.
When it was over, I'm in menopause at 31. So a lot of the things that like other people my age are experiencing, I can't experience. Can't carry children. And so emotionally, it has been a roller coaster.
While overall death rates for all cancers are declining thanks to early detection and treatment advances, the American Cancer Society says progress is being threatened by increases in several cancers, including uterine cancer, especially among women and younger adults.
Really striking in this report is an increase in the number of women being diagnosed with cancer in the 50 to 64 age. It's particularly striking in younger women.
Rates in women under 50 are now 82% higher than men. The report also highlights death rates rising for oral cavity, pancreatic, and uterine cancers.
Uterine cancer, it's a cancer with a very large disparity in outcomes between Black and white Americans. It's a cancer because of the importance of estrogen driving it, that there are also links to obesity, but there aren't deep population-based studies that we can say that for sure.
So like someone is not listening to you, go to someone else. If I had not gone to multiple doctors, I probably wouldn't be sitting here talking to you all today.
Tiffany says she hopes sharing her story raises awareness and encourages others, especially Black women, to advocate for themselves. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
The report also shows Black Americans are twice as likely to die of prostate, stomach, and uterine cancers compared to white Americans, and 50% more likely to die from cervical cancer, which is a cancer that can be detected early and prevented with vaccination. Can memory influence what we eat? A new study on mice published in Nature Metabolism found there are neurons in the brain which carry memories about sugar and fat. What this means is advertisements or things in our daily environment can remind us of experiences we had eating good food, which can cause us to eat unhealthy or overeat. Scientists say virtual reality goggles for mice are giving them new insight into Alzheimer's disease and its potential treatments. Researchers at Cornell University developed the tiny VR headsets to learn more about a mouse's memory. The devices are strapped to rodents as they run on a ball and maneuver obstacles and potential threats. Scientists are able to observe how they deal with spatial navigation.
When they're in the goggles, it's very immersive, and it seems like they can really be tricked into thinking that this is a a realistic situation. But yeah, it is very useful that they are tricked, and then we can do a lot of interesting experiments.
After scientists increased blood flow to the mouse's brain, they say memory function improved. Researchers are now working to create a VR headset to test larger rodents. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, the financial woes prompting Walgreens to close hundreds of stores.
Plus, we have another Arctic blast that we got to keep our eyes on. We're going to be talking about that coming up. Well, it definitely turned out to be warmer for us today. Temperatures got back up into low, some areas of mid 50s for highs, which is nice to see, and pretty much clear skies across the region. And that is what we are going to see as we go through the overnight hours tonight. Clouds will start to increase for you tomorrow. It's also Thursday. Drought tracker updates. Overall doing pretty well with the snow that we've had over the past week and a half or so. Still moderate drought parts of Jasper County up towards Stockton Lake. Everybody else dry, so at least we're looking pretty good right now. Through the evening, clear skies, 50s, 40s, but we only bottom out into the mid to upper 30s later on tonight, so it's not going to be near as cold as what we have seen. 49 in Stockton, but 53 in Neosho. You got 55 in Bentonville, Veneta 56, Parsons sitting at 55 degrees, but the winds are going to start to pick up. Right now, they're still fairly light, but we're going to get a southerly wind increasing. That keeps our temperatures up as we go through the night, but it gets just downright windy tomorrow. Winds gusting 30 upwards to 40 miles per hour at times. This in return will help us warm up. Then here comes an Arctic front, slides in by tomorrow evening, and then it's still windy into Saturday just out of the north, ushering in that colder air. Not quite as windy, winds gusting kind of 20 to 25 on Saturday. We look good, not much going on here. Pretty much clear skies. In a sense, the lower 48 is pretty boring right now, but we do have a system that is building up across parts of Canada, and it's going to kick this low out down toward Las Vegas and then usher in that Arctic air for us as we go into the weekend. Let's go through time. Tonight's fine, few mid and upper level clouds by morning, upper 30s. As we go through the day, by noon, most of us will be into the mid 50s, which is pretty good. You can see the clouds continuing to thicken up. I think most of us 55, 56 degrees. Now, late afternoon into the evening hours, we'll start to get some showers, but mainly along and south of I-44. So Joplin south into northwestern Arkansas. These will push on by, and then behind our front, we may get some flurries late Friday night into Saturday morning. Then on Saturday, just mainly cloudy all day long. We are going to have some bouts of flurries or a quick little light snow shower. It doesn't look like a big deal, but look at our highs, upper 20s to near 30 degrees. And then we plummet as we get into Sunday morning. We slide all the way down into the mid-teens for overnight lows. Day planner on Friday, 41 in the morning, 54 by noon. Few showers late, south of I-44. High temp, 56 degrees. All right, with this Arctic air, it sticks around. Look at this. Sunday, mid-20s again. Monday, a few flurries could pass through, mid-20s again. And then even into Tuesday, it gets a little bit better. We get back into the mid-30s, but pretty cold heading through next week. 56 tomorrow, then a high of 30 on Saturday. Only 25 on Sunday, overnight lows down near 10. 24 Monday, 33 on Tuesday. Next Thursday, a week from today, is our next decent shot to get some wintry weather back into the region.
And we better enjoy that relatively warm day tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, Doug. California firefighters are getting a little relief, at least this afternoon, as offshore winds calm down. That should help in the battle against still burning wildfires that have so far consumed nearly 40,000 acres and claimed at least 25 lives. The blazes have destroyed more than 12,000 homes and structures and forced 200,000 Angelinos to flee. Some residents have returned to survey the damage. Coming up, why some people are willing to dig deep into their wallets for luxury. Topping today's Consumer Watch, the Department of Transportation has filed a lawsuit against Southwest Airlines, alleging the company persistently operated chronically late flights. The suit hones in on 2 flight routes back in 2022 that resulted in 180 disruptions in a 5-month period. Southwest says focusing on those flights nearly 3 years ago is unrealistic compared to its overall record. The Transportation Department also fined Frontier Airlines $650,000 for chronically delayed flights, although half of that amount could be suspended if the carrier doesn't operate chronically late flights over the next 3 years. The CEO of Walgreens says locking up merchandise to thwart theft has also turned off paying customers. The company reported an earnings loss of $245 million last quarter, comparing to $39 million during the same time period a year ago. Walgreens plans to close hundreds of stores by the end of this year due to faltering sales. We've all been paying a bit more for food lately, but would you pay $400 for a single piece of fruit? Well, Michael George introduces us to the world of luxury fruit.
These strawberries cost 8 times more than the ones at a typical grocery. It's not inflation, it's a new trend: luxury fruit. Higher quality, higher price. The berry from the company Oishi is grown indoors under special lights and no chemicals are used. They're marketed as sweeter and creamier than a typical berry. The price? $2 per strawberry. We had New Yorkers put them to a taste test.
I mean, it's decent.
Decent?
Yeah. I mean, it's okay. I don't taste a significant difference. Maybe a little bit sweeter.
I feel like the texture of it is more sweeter. But that's really it, honestly.
On the extreme end of luxury fruit, Del Monte's Ruby Glow Pineapple, with a striking red color and lower acidity. It's packaged in a box fit for fine art and sells for a whopping $400. Is there really a market for a $400 pineapple?
Michael, there is now.
Danny Dumas from Del Monte said the exorbitant price is for 2 reasons. 1, years of development costs, and 2, there's a very limited supply.
People like exclusivity. People are curious.
So Del Monte sent us one of these Ruby Glow pineapples. Why don't we give it a taste? So it's actually really good. It's better than a normal pineapple. It's sweeter. Is it worth $400? In my opinion, of course not. But some people are willing to pay. Del Monte says more than 1,000 people are on a wait list to buy. As for the $2 strawberry...
Yeah, that's a little pricey.
You wouldn't do it?
I wouldn't do it.
Not everyone is sweet on the price. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
We don't have better things to do with our money, really. Come on. A final check of the forecast up next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, a look at a unique home design that's built to resist embers and flames. Then on KOAM News at 6, we're going to have local reaction to that new Kansas law concerning fees for credit card transactions, plus a closer look at help for handling winter heating bills in Southwest Missouri. And Carl Junction has a new head softball coach. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. All right, look at this security camera video out of Turkey. That's a female dog carrying her hypothermic puppy to a veterinarian clinic. A technician who initially thought the male puppy was dead rushed it inside, detected a faint heartbeat. A team administered an adrenaline shot and warmed the puppy using a hairdryer. How is this possible? Well, they theorized that maybe the mother had earlier followed people who had rescued her other puppy and had him brought to the vet, and she just remembered, thought the clinic was a safe place to bring this puppy. The puppy was successfully revived, joining his surviving brother from a litter of 6. Happy ending,
Yeah,
smart dog. They've
pretty
named
amazing.
that dog Mom, fittingly enough.
Absolutely.
The weather, it's going to be pretty nice tomorrow.
Yeah, it is. Look at our temps today. We went all the way up to 54 degrees. We started at 32, so we've been melting snow all day, and we're going to do very similar tomorrow. Arctic air moving in for the weekend.
Thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next, and of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6. We'll see you then. Let's make it a great evening.